Hi, I'm Kaylee Smith. I'm currently a junior at Corinth High School, and I'm going to be teaching you marching fundamentals. Alright, so first we need to learn our proper positioning and body form whenever we're going into set. So let me back up just a little bit. So when you're going into set, how we do it at Corinth High School is we have our toes and heels together. Alright? And so let me turn to the side. Then when we're at set, what we'll have is we'll have our shoulders kind of pulled back, but keeping a very straight upper body. Imagine that string is pulling you up. To have that, have your chin 10 degrees above the horizon to project that sound. And then for your arms, instead of them just laying right here, pull them back to right below your hips. And then be on the balls, have the weight on the balls of your feet. So we're going to set. There's two different ways that we go into set. We do the bend, 10, hut, pride, or we just do set. So if you hear either of those, you immediately go into this. Again, toes and heels together, straight upper body. Imagine there's a string. My arms are right below my hips, and the weight is on the balls of my feet. Alright. Next, we're going to be covering how to mark time. So marking time can help you get the subdivision for the beat, so then whenever you're playing the music, you can keep your counts very easily. So how we mark time is we like to, before we move set to set, we're at attention, and we do dut, 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 push. And that indicates your first step. But when learning how to, marching fundamentals and learning how to mark time, how we do it is we do dut, 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 push. 1, 2, 3, place, close. So notice how when I said 1, my left foot was down, meaning my left heel is down. So whenever I'm marching, it's 1, my foot is down, 2, my foot is down, and so on and so forth. So on odd numbers, your left foot is down, on your left heel is down, and on even numbers, your right heel is down. And that you indicate that also when you're marking time. So sometimes this is useful whenever we're in a warm-up arc and we're marking set to set. So we'll be playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, place, close, or something like that. And so that's why it's important to know how to mark time. All right. Next, we're going to cover your first step. So you're in set, and then when you're in set, you need to take your first step. You're not just going to lazily go into the first step. The first step determines the momentum and how much you're going to push into the next step, making for a smooth and flowing march. So when we take our first step, we like to push out. Let me do a side view so I can see that. So you put energy into it, and you don't lift your foot up that much. So when you're going into your first step, we do a glide. So when we're gliding, it keeps for a solid, smooth sound. So when we do that, we need to put energy into it. We don't need to lift our foot much from the ground. We need to kind of slide it above the ground. And then we need to have our toe up to where, a funny example we like to use is you can see "Hey Mom" on the bottom of your shoe. So the first step would look like that. Alright, and now since you know how to do the first step, you can do your second step. So like I said, in the first step, you need to push. You need to use energy in that first step of motion. So you use energy, and then you roll your feet to go into your next step. And so whenever you're rolling your feet, the weight distribution changes from your left foot to your right foot. So how we count that off, on your left foot is for odd, and for your right foot is for even. So then you're 1, cross, 2. Notice how I said the 1 cross. The 1 cross is an example of when your ankles are crossing, or the 8th note in the beat. So 1 and 2. The and is the cross. And so whenever you put the energy into the first step, you have momentum to roll into the next step to keep a nice, solid slide. So let me just do an example of that. That, 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 push. 1, cross, 2. And again, your weight remains on the balls of your feet. So then, now that you know the first and the second step, now you can go into your first four steps. And if you can do the first 4 steps, you can basically do any forward glide. So whenever you're going into your first 4 steps, it's the same thing. So, da, 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 push. 1, cross 2, 3, place. So I did something a little different there. I did a place step. So a place step is when you place the toe of your foot. You place the toe of your foot right where you're about to place. So imagine there's a yard line right there. You place that toe, and then you remain on the balls of your feet, the weight on the balls of your feet, so then you close in one solid motion, and you don't jump up and close and fall back down. You lace, close. So let me do an example of that. Let me do forward 4, place, close. Da, 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 push. 1, 2, 3, place, close. And one more note to make whenever you're closing, place your heel or place your toe, and then you just bring that left foot right in. Okay.